Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. At Forrester, Justin looks over the LLC paperwork and confirms that Carter's trying to pull a fast bone. He asks for 1 nanosecond to look near. Brooke and Ridge step away and he exclaims, "Some friend, huh?" He thanks her for bringing this to him. Brooke says of course she wouldn't let him take his company from him. Ridge vows this will no way stand up in court. His two-faced friend is trying to cheat his way into power and will cheat his way out of the company. Justin asks to take a dupe with him so he can confer with a coworker. Ridge asks, "You can fix this, right?" Justin points out the CEO's inked off on this. Ridge bellows that they didn't know what they inked, that's the point. Justin will see what he can do, but warns this may be a bit more serious than he thinks. After he exits, Ridge is confident he'll find a loophole. This is similar to treason, and not just from Carter but from Hope. Brooke nods, it's unwarrantable. She thinks he needs to flash back that this all began with a misreading. Steffi jumped to conclusions and fired her son. She's not trying to justify what they're doing, but she wants to resolve it in a peaceful manner. Ridge is going to resolve it right now. In Hope's cabin, she tells Carter this is for the good of the company. Carter says Ridge wouldn't see it that way. He'd be lying if he didn't admit he's dreading what's to come. Carter's dressing when he gets a textbook from Ridge, who wants to see him. Hope thinks perhaps he's changed his mind and might be considering his offer and reinstating Hope for the future. Carter would be relieved not to have to betray his friend. In the office, Ridge says to Brooke, "Now I stay for the snake." Brooke reminds him she told him all of this in confidence. Ridge says Carter has lost his perspective. He no way allowed. He'd see him make a career-ending move like this. That's what this is, a preemption attempt. It ends moment. In the cabin, Hope gushes about Carter's inspiring ideas. Ridge needs to give him a shot, however, she'll owe it all to Carter if he decides to bring her back. Her swain tells her he wouldn't back down. She'll have his support until the end, whatever that is. She kisses him farewell and wishes him luck. At Forrester, Ridge paces as he waits for Carter to arrive. He flashes to the day Carter was made COO, and through some of their memorable moments. "We're family," he recalls saying. Brooke arrives at the cabin and asks Hope, "How are you?" Hope says she's fine and explains Carter was there and got a textbook from Ridge wanting to see him. She hopes it's good news. Brooke says, "Well, I can tell you, I know." Hope smiles, "You do?" They establish that Brooke was with Ridge. Hope asks why Ridge wanted to see Carter. Brooke asks why he wouldn't want to see him, he's a susurrus and trusted stylish friend. She eyeballs Hope and thinks she seems veritably distracted. "I was hoping that you would tell me yourself. I eavesdropped you and Carter." Hope asks, "You eavesdropped us?" Brooke exclaims that she was about to come in when she eavesdropped them talking about an achievement. Taking over Forrester Creations. Carter arrives in the main office and Ridge is seated with his reverse to him. He intones, "Close the door." He asks how he's doing and if he has commodity to tell him. Turning around he says, "No?" "Well, I've commodity to tell you." "I know. I know what you're doing. I know what you're up to." Ridge asks Carter, "Did it ever do to you that she's just using you?" Carter asks, "Who?" Ridge replies, "Hope." He knows about the papers. He knows he's trying to take power over Steffi and him, all for Hope. "You didn't suppose I'd find out?" Carter asks, "How?" Ridge will trade him a how for a why. "I saw your name on the paper. You must have been freaking out, but there was no need for that because I trusted you implicitly. Not because you're my susurrus, because you're my stylish friend in the world and you picked me in the reverse." In the cabin, Hope recaps that Brooke eavesdropped her and Carter, and realizes she told Ridge that's why he wanted to see Carter. "Mama. What are you doing? You should have talked to me first." Brooke wails, "Why, so I could be a part of your plan?" "No. What were you allowing?" Hope complains that they were being manhandled at Forrester. They gave Ridge and Steffi every occasion, but they wouldn't hear. Brooke says that doesn't justify achievement. Hope worries about what Carter's walking into. What will Ridge say or do now that he knows the verity? My God. In the office, Ridge asks Carter if he really allowed. He'd get down with this. Subscribing the company over to him? He's not concerned about papers, that's child's play. What he's concerned about is why he'd do this to him. Because we passed on your big idea? We're a fashion house, and we wanted to stay a fashion house, that's all. He continues, or was it because Steffi was mean to your new gal? How'd that make you feel? Sad, angry, betrayed perhaps. He made him susurrus because he always knew he'd do right by him, the company, and the family that's always been there for him and embraced him. This is how you thank them? By hooking up with Hope, by fighting her cause? Carter says it's a cause worth fighting for. Ridge pushes his president and hollers, there's nothing good about any of this. What happened to you? I know what happened to you. Hope happened to you. The same way she happened to Liam and to Thomas, because that's what she does. Carter turns his head and Ridge bellows, look at me. She gets her hooks into you, and she molds you, and she woos you until you love her so much you can't breathe, and also she drives you down. He's picked his friend and family in the reverse for what? For Hope. Ridge understands that Carter is frustrated that they didn't take his big idea. You know business, you know how it works. So, is it really because Steffi was mean to your little gal? He betrayed all of them for that? That doesn't sound like him at all, it sounds like Hope. Stealing this company from the people that love him doesn't sound like him at all. Steffi told him Hope was in Carter's head, he didn't believe it. He wishes he had. Perhaps he could have kept him from going off the deep end. I didn't see it. Sitting, Ridge asks, what do we do now? What do I do? I know what I want to do, I want to give you another chance. He suggests they forget about the papers, however, they'll be okay, if he ends this poisonous relationship. Carter asks, you want me to end effects with Hope? Ridge nods, get her out of your life, before it's too late. Justin Barber will presumably do what Ridge Forrester has asked of him. Ridge wants Justin to look over his dupe of the LLC document and ever crush it since he refuses to let Carter Walton get down with this preemption. Of course, Carter hasn't filed the paperwork yet, but he's got the power to put himself in charge of Forrester Creations unless commodity changes. That's why Ridge is counting on Justin to put a stop to all this, but will Justin be suitable to deliver results? Anyhow, Ridge will eventually summon Carter for a battle at the office, so he'll admit he knows what Carter's doing and what he's up to. Carter might play dumb at first, but Ridge will presumably contend he heard the news of Carter and Hope Logan's treason straight from Brooke Logan. Ridge may advise that he's pumping the thickets on Carter's plot, but that really depends on Justin at this point. As for Carter, there'll be a lot riding on what happens coming, since he'll either find himself fired or in the CEO seat like he planned. Hope's in for a shock when Brooke offers updates on what she's done. After Brooke calls Hope out for teaming up with Carter on this preemption plan, she'll reveal that she eavesdropped and went straight to Ridge about it. This will turn into quite a showdown, since there'll be a lot of pain and wrathfulness on both sides. Brooke will wonder how Hope could indeed cook up such a thing and may argue that Hope should have talked Carter out of all this. As for Hope, she'll feel hurt over Brooke choosing to be pious to Ridge over her own son. Hope will remind Brooke how illegal it was when Steffi Forrester gave her the charge from Forrester Creations, but Brooke still wouldn't authorize of this dirty power play. Brooke wouldn't suppose it's right for Hope and Carter to be condescending so low, so she'll defend her decision to tell Ridge the whole verity, including the part about Carter and Hope's relationship. Prognostications allude that Hope and Brooke's bond will be broken for a while, so don't miss all the mama-son drama. Some instigative thriller moments are ahead on the CBS Cleaner, so stay tuned.